Greetings and salutations, YouTube. We back here again doing another nerd report. And just to liven up the mood, it's good to see healthy competition, especially in the communication space. But the war is on, and GlobalStar has decided to pull out their Q-36 explosive space modulator to fire back at SpaceX. But before we get into the story, subscribe to the channel, hit like on the story, and also stay for the story. So, why would I use that reference? That's funny. Apple's partner GlobalStar bulks up satellite plans after SpaceX snags spectrum. So, I've been doing a couple of stories lately, and SpaceX has gone through and basically it's grabbed up some very new and healthy spectrum from EchoStar. EchoStar is dying. We already kind of went through that. But what we haven't really talked about is, what is this space actually? I didn't mean to do that pun. What has been going on in this space per se? I can't help not doing it. But what's been going on in the background? So you got GlobalStar, you got AT&T, you have SpaceX. Let's say those three are the biggest ones that are on the forefront of what's going on. Well, since this transaction has transpired with SpaceX looking to acquire the spectrum from EchoStar, GlobalStar is not wasting any time at all. And they're going to go out, they're stocking up all of their space lasers now to combat against a new found come up from SpaceX. SpaceX was already going to be a very formidable foe in the whole space communications industry. But now you're talking about being able to do direct to cell with more spectrum than maybe other carriers are going to be able to do. Their ability to be able to launch their own satellites puts them at a higher edge than an AT&T or even a GlobalStar, because these companies just make their own satellites and they have to ask and seek out somebody else to actually deploy their satellites for them. Where SpaceX edge in the market is they can make their satellites and then they can deploy their satellites also. That's a huge edge over your competition. Now, with this being said, GlobalStar has decided to pull the gloves off. They are putting the lasers out there. They are showing that we are ready to fight. And Apple obviously is a backer of GlobalStar. So if you have a current iPhone, I say iPhone 17, which should be coming out now, and iPhone 16 or 15, maybe I think even up down to a 14. Not 100% sure. Whatever you do, don't roast me in the comments about it. But you can do satellite communications through GlobalStar with Apple phones without having to wait around for a T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon to do it. That's Apple's direct, hey, we want to partner with GlobalStar. I think the last investment Apple did was like $1 billion into GlobalStar. And for the most part, that's a cool investment, but I don't think it's going to be enough for competition-wise, because with SpaceX getting a hold of this new spectrum gives them 4G LTE capabilities from space. We're talking about what we had 10 years ago. What you were able to do 10 years ago, SpaceX will be able to do from space while you're just standing around in the woods. That's huge. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, advancement in technology is always great, but to be able to be almost standing anywhere on the planet, especially here in America, being able to stand in the Grand Canyon, or being able to be, at the lowest point in America, I forget what it's called, but it's like one of the hottest places in the world, or the Savannah salt flats, and you still have cellular service and still be able to make phone calls, that's huge. So that type of capability you're giving, one company is trying to pull out all the stops. I can see why competition is starting to fiercely rank up now more than ever. But one of the things that GlobalStar is starting to do is that they want to deploy a new satellite, and they want to deploy more satellites. So I think currently right now their constellation consists of about 48 in the for the United States. I think they have like 48 for the US, and then like globally, I think they are at like at about 1,000 plus in the for the world. So they just filed for expansion in Germany to go from 1,000 plus to over 3,000 in the for the world. I guess that they want to use that global plane, but they're going to feed the United States also. So with that being said, the competition in this space has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We haven't even found out any new information that's coming from AST yet, which as soon as I get it, I'm gonna most definitely do a video on. But like currently right now, AST has kind of been kind of quiet at this point in time, but GlobalStar has not waited at all. And there's a reason why they're not waiting. So to give you some backstory context, the reason why they're not waiting is because given how long it will take for Starlink satellites to decommission themselves, and decommission, we're talking about falling out of the sky. Remember, they put up a couple, and then they wait for those older ones to decommission themselves and fall back out of the sky and fall back to Earth. And the cadence, from what I've read in this article, is about every 2 years, they start putting up a new version of these satellites up. That's what SpaceX does. So they just now acquired this spectrum, or trying to acquire this spectrum. I don't think it's a done deal yet. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but given the fact that it takes 2 years for them to revolve their satellites around, GlobalStar is not waiting around for the 2-year cadence. They're going ready to go ahead and try to get their stuff off the ground, get their satellite constellation off the ground also. And like here, so this is the tweet that somebody put out. Mobile satellite service, GlobalStar registers over 3,000 satellite constellations with Germany. Currently, they're looking at 110 orbital planes at over 700 kilometers. Current GlobalStar constellation is 1,400 kilometers. So they're looking to bring the satellites even closer towards Earth, which improves connectivity. SpaceX, AST, they're all going to be operating at a closer cadence towards Earth to provide direct-to-sale to customers. So let's see, what was that last one that I saw? But that's with that being said, the deployment of the spectrum is going to bolster SpaceX, but the market is changing fast also. And this is another thing inside of this article, which I will put this in the description below. It talks about GlobalStar not having the spectrum needed just yet, and looking to secure new licenses possibly with other entities in this marketplace. They might end up losing some market share if EchoStar becomes too desperate, because EchoStar is the only one that has S-band spectrum. I think they probably have the bulk of the S-band spectrum in Europe, in the European Union area. which if they sell that off to SpaceX because they're desperate, that's going to even bolster them even more. But in the whole global communication side of things, we're looking at a massive, massive change in the global communications if this gets off the ground. We're talking about being able to go almost anywhere on the planet with just one phone number. That's going to be huge. Roaming fees, roaming period is probably going to go away with global satellite connectivity. You know, being going over to Europe, I don't have to worry about buying an eSIM to go over there and use their data. If I want to have traditional data, yes, but why would I do that when I can have my own phone number and don't have to worry about nobody? Oh, what phone number are you using right now to communicate with? Oh, are you just using WhatsApp or Instagram or whatever to communicate? You don't have to worry about those things. So, where do you stand at on this? What do you think is about to go down? I believe that we're looking at a fearsome fight. I'm looking through the interwebs and see what AT&T is currently doing, and I'll report back again. But until then, I think that GlobalStar has decided to pull out their space modulators and fire directly back at SpaceX. But thank y'all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you think. And y'all have a good one.